when I married my husband. I knew he had a white moonlight, pink light somewhere in his life. He told me about it before we got married. That girl was a college classmate of his. 2 people together for 4 years. It was because he went abroad that we separated later on. When he said these things, the tone is very calm. It's like reading a product manual. I was completely immersed in the joy of being about to get married at that time. I didn't take this seriously at all. Who would ever challenge something that's already in the past tense? Besides, I am the one who will be with him in the end. The person who enters marriage. The first 2 years after marriage, everything is normal. He can't say anything romantic about me. But it's definitely qualified enough. Please leave the payment of the salary to me. Remember to buy gifts on this anniversary day. Sometimes I like to cook some meals myself. We have bought a house. I plan to have children. Days pass by like a gentle river. I sit on the boat. I thought it would be easy to reach the finish line safely like this. Until one day, while I was organizing the study, found an old external hard drive. I admit that I shouldn't have opened it in the first place. But I did open it. There are several hidden folders inside. All the names are the same abbreviation. I tried to translate it, but it's the first letter of his name. The folder is filled with photos. From university to graduation. A photo taken together by 2 people. His single photo. There are even a few videos available. I'm sitting in front of the computer, one by one, flipping through them. At the very end, on the last page, my palms are covered in sweat. That photo was taken at the airport. The date was 2 months before our wedding. I didn't make any announcements. I swallowed those words whole. Tell yourself, who hasn't gone over there yet? From then on, I started to pay attention. I found that he has 2 mobile phone numbers. One of them was something that I never knew about at all. He sometimes comes home late. The reasons are irrefutable. Working extra hours to help friends with their tasks. Sometimes in the middle of the night, he would go up to the balcony alone to smoke cigarettes. Once, I woke up in the middle of the night. I saw the light of the mobile phone screen on the balcony. He is sending messages. I got up and walked over. He heard some noise. Quickly switched the phone to the main screen. He said that he couldn't sleep at all. Get out and take a breath of fresh air. That entire night, I listened to his breathing. I know that he didn't sleep either. This state lasted for over half a year. I can't bear it anymore. I found a night when he was on a business trip. I checked all his social media accounts.
His password is easy to guess.
It was on the date of our first date, right? I'm like a peeper, observing everything from behind the scenes. I've gone through all of their chat records together. It turns out that over the years, they never cut off their contact at all. He will send him photos of him living abroad. He will send gifts to him during the holidays. When he's in a bad mood, he will come to him and cry about his problems. He will be the first to inform you when there are any progress in your work. The conversation between those 2 people is 10 times more meaningful than the conversation between me and him. And what was the last conversation I had with him? Records aren't related to property management fees at all. It means going to someone's house for dinner on the weekend. The most fatal sentence was something he said.
He said, "Thank you for waiting for me."
He replied that he was willing to wait. The time when that sentence was spoken is 3 months after we got married. I feel like my head is spinning around. The hand that holds the mouse is trembling. My stomach's in chaos, my stomach's swirling around like a storm. I want to call and question him. I want to throw everything he has away. But I didn't do anything at all. I turned off the computer. Go to the kitchen and get yourself a glass of water. But your kindness has turned into a source of pressure for him. It's even considered an insulting behavior. Later, I gradually realized one thing. He doesn't need me to improve myself. He needs me to not be too good. Or rather, don't try to be better than him. I started recalling many things. I worked overtime until very late, and then went home. He said that without your company, everything will stop happening. I told him about the problems I'm facing at work. Then I sat down on the sofa. He said that those things among you can be quite complicated, right? I won an award in the industry. Take a photo and send it to him? He gave a thumbs up in response. And then there was no further action taken. He isn't completely indifferent either. I also buy gifts during festivals. I also order cakes for my birthday. Sometimes I even cook meals myself. But it's precisely these occasional moments that are the most uncomfortable. Drink a whole glass of water slowly over time. Because he did anything at all. Things that should be shared together. It will all turn into his help. I need to express my gratitude and remember this moment. And those things that he didn't do. Those things that haven't been done day after day. Piled up in the corners. Only I can see it. Once I had a cold and fever. 39 degrees, unable to get out of bed. I found myself unable to even cry. He poured me a glass of water and placed it beside my bed. He said, "You should drink more water." I arranged to play cards with a friend. "You have something to talk about. I'll call you later." When the door is closed, tears started to flow from my eyes. It's not because he doesn't stay to take care of me. It's because I suddenly realized, if it were the other way around, meaning that it's him who has the fever, I definitely won't leave at all. I just feel cold. Our feelings aren't equal at all. I always thought that this was a kind of tacit agreement between us. I only understood later. This is called wishful thinking. That night, I sat on the bed, wrapped in the blanket. Let's think through our relationship from start to end. I've discovered a fact that makes me feel quite uneasy. I don't know if he still loves me or not, but I know. A coldness that extends from within to the outside. He's already gotten used to me. Get used to having meals at home? There are clean clothes to wear. Someone has paid the utility bills. Someone remembers their parents' birthdays. What he needs is the function of marriage. It's not me personally. Let someone else take care of these tasks. It probably doesn't make any difference for him either. This idea makes me very afraid. It turns out this marriage has been going on for 2 years now. It's not that I'm afraid of losing him. Is it because I'm afraid to admit that I've loved for these 6 years? Someone who doesn't even need me at all. I tried to talk to him once. A very formal one. I think there are some problems between us. I would like to talk with you. He sat opposite the dining table. The expression on my face seems like that of attending a meeting that isn't very important at all. I want to know what you think of us lately. I'm just a temporary replacement. He said it was pretty good, right? Do you not think that there is very little communication between us? He said that after being married for so long, it's normal for couples to behave like this, right? I said, but I feel very lonely. He smiled. Have you come across any more articles related to emotions again? I watched his smile. Suddenly, I didn't want to say anything anymore. Later, I started to consciously reduce my contributions. I no longer ask him every day what he wants to eat for dinner. A time when he cannot wait for his beloved to arrive. Do whatever happens in the fridge. I no longer take the initiative to buy him seasonal clothes. He asked about a certain shirt. I said you should look for it yourself. I won't remind him about his parents' birthdays anymore. And indeed, he forgot about it. He got called and scolded by that woman. He was very angry. I want to ask him why I didn't warn him. I said that is your mother. Something to fill the void in life. He was stunned. Then he rushed into the study, slamming the door behind him. I am not angry. I just feel sad. The problems between us have always existed from the beginning. It's not any specific matter at all. It's actually a deeply ingrained pattern. In this mode, I am the connector. He is a beneficiary of this arrangement. The day he returned from his business trip, he thought this was something that was taken for granted. And I'm no longer willing to do it anymore. The idea of divorce came up during that time. Every day, when I wake up, I think about this matter. I even secretly consulted with a lawyer. I understand the procedures and processes related to property division. I remain calm while doing all these things. Even my calm self couldn't believe what was happening. The last straw that breaks the camel's back. It's that trash can at the beginning. I prepared a whole table full of dishes. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? A 6-year marriage was ruined because of a trash can. But I know that it isn't the case. It's just an exit point. The day I proposed for divorce was also a weekend. After getting up in the morning, I said, "Let's get a divorce, okay?" He was stunned for a few seconds. "What happened to you again?" This word. When he entered the door, I said that I didn't do much with it. "I just want a divorce." He sat by the bed. It seems like I'm looking at a child who is just being unreasonable. He asked for reasons. I said that I no longer love you. He said to stop making noise. We've been married for so many years already. What matter does it matter about loving or not loving? I said it's because you no longer think whether love is important or not matters at all. I even smiled at him. It's only after they decide to get divorced. He remained silent for a while. Then he asked me one question. Things that I will never be able to forget in this lifetime. He asked if there was someone else in your life, right? I laughed and said no. Then I looked into his eyes and said, if there is someone outside, maybe I won't get divorced at all. Because at least someone can help me. While eating, I still feel like I'm a living person. He stopped talking. After a long time, he said, "How will you live without me?" I said that I didn't know. But it won't be worse than it is now. He stood up, walked around the bedroom twice. Then they said, "It's up to you." Just these 3 words. I calmly told him everything. It's up to you. I don't really want to persuade you anymore. No further questions asked. There wasn't even a single argument between them. 6 years of marriage. In the end, it all comes down to one sentence. Leave it to you. I stood there. It's hard to say whether I feel sad or relieved inside. Maybe all of them. It's also possible that none of them actually exist. The divorce procedures were handled very quickly. I have reviewed all of your chat records. We don't have children. The house was purchased before he got married. There's nothing to argue about. I bought the car myself. The deposits are kept separate from each other. When I left the Civil Affairs Bureau, it's a beautiful sunny day outside. He stood on the steps and asked me, "Shall we have a goodbye dinner together?" I said I don't need it. His chopsticks stopped in midair. He nodded, turned around and left. It was going very fast. Never looking back at the past, I watched him walk away. Standing under the sun, suddenly started crying. It's not because I don't want to leave. It's because he is so decisive even in leaving things behind. This makes me even more certain of one thing over these 6 years. The expression on his face changed from shock to panic. He really didn't love me very much at all. He just needs someone to be with him. And I happened to be there at that time. The days after divorce are actually much more peaceful than I expected. I have a cat. Sleep until natural dawn on weekends. Only the things I like to eat should be placed in the refrigerator. If you want to cook, just do it. If you don't want to cook, just order takeout instead. No one asks me what I will eat for dinner anymore. It became something completely complicated, something that I simply don't understand at all. Nowadays, no one minds that I earn a lot. Nowadays, no one anymore throws socks back into the dirty basket anymore. That kind of freedom is real. But at the same time, loneliness is also a reality. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, empty around me. There will be a moment of distraction. I think the same. What would happen if we hadn't divorced in the first place? But every time I think about this, he put down his chopsticks. I will remember that trash can filled with garbage. I remember the expression on his face when he said, "It's okay, just leave it as it is." And then I knew it. I have no regrets. Later, I heard that he got married again. It's a girl who is 5 years younger than him. My friend said that he can now cook meals by himself. I also take the initiative to clean up my room. When I heard it, there aren't any emotional fluctuations in my mind. Silence for a long time. I just can't help laughing a little. It turns out he's not unable to do it after all. It seems like they don't want to do it. Not willing to do it for me. But I no longer care about it anymore. This marriage left me nothing but hatred. It's not really a regret at all. It's a kind of profound exhaustion. And a new kind of clarity. I finally understand. Then he said something that I will never forget in my life. What is most terrifying in marriage isn't arguments or infidelity. It's indifferent. It's someone who regards all their efforts as something taken for granted. And the other person endured silently, until I completely gave up hope. Now, if someone asks me, will you get married again? My answer is that I don't know. But what if another person enters my life? I hope he understands one thing. He said he was sorry. Marriage isn't about finding someone to share the costs of life together. Or in other words, someone else will take care of you instead of your mother. Marriage is when two people stand side by side, looking in the same direction. It's not something that someone has to carry on their own shoulders as they move forward. The other person sat by the roadside looking at their phone. If it wasn't for this kind of relationship between them, then I'd rather be alone. But don't worry, I won't divorce you. This sentence is really touching. What a responsible person. He promised me that he wouldn't get divorced. It seems like this is some kind of great blessing indeed. He doesn't plan to get divorced. It's not because they love me. It's not because I have any affection for this family. It's because getting a divorce is too troublesome. Because the property is difficult to divide among the parties involved. Because it's difficult to explain things to parents. Because in everyone's eyes, we are a model couple. He simply needs a wife in name only. And one. As for love, he never really belonged to me at all. I asked him, then why do you still want to marry me? He remained silent, so I asked again. He said with his head down, because you are a great woman. I really wanted to live a good life with you. When he said these words, the tone is very sincere. I was so sincere that I almost believed it. I really wanted to live a good life with you. This sentence can be translated as, I have tried to love you, but I can't do it. After that day, we didn't get divorced. I didn't make any noise or cry at all. I didn't tell anyone at all. I continued to be my good wife, cooking, cleaning, attending friends' parties with him, acting as a filial daughter-in-law in front of her parents. He continued to be a good husband as always. Return home on time, submit wages as expected, give flowers during festivals. We even started to plan to have children. It's better to take folic acid during the ovulation period, just like any couple who is seriously preparing for pregnancy. In the eyes of outsiders, our marriage is sweeter than honey. But I know it myself. Everything has changed. Whenever he gets close to me, I can't help but want to do it. Is he imagining that I'm someone else? Whenever he smiles at me, I will always translate it in my mind. What lies behind this smile? Is it guilt or just perfunctory behavior? It's another failed attempt yet again. I started to hate her, hating a woman whom I have never met in real life. I will check her social media accounts in the middle of the night. Look at her photo, studying her clothing. She writes every word with expression. I hate her, but I am even more jealous of her. She doesn't need to do anything at all. It's something that I couldn't get even with all my efforts. It feels like being pressed underwater, as if someone is holding me down there. It seems like there's light above us, but it just won't float up at all. A year later, our child was born. It's a boy. They look like him. When he was holding the child in his arms, I was extremely happy laughing. I have never seen such joy before. I thought children could change something. It will help to get his heart back together a little bit. The fact is that something has indeed changed. But it's not the kind of situation I imagined. The night when the child turned 1 month old.
He drank a little alcohol.
I sat by the baby bed and watched for a long time. And then suddenly he said something. If only he were here too. I was standing right at the door. I'm holding the alcohol revitalizing tea that I prepared for him. That sentence was clearly heard by me. I stood there with the teacup in my hand for several seconds. Turned around and went back to the kitchen. Pour the tea into the sink. The cup hit the edge of the sink. I broke a piece of it. I squatted down to collect the pieces. Scarred my fingers with cuts, blood dripping onto the white tiles. I looked at those few drops of blood and thought to myself, that's it then. I completely lost this battle. When the child was 3 years old, he has returned to his country. For the first time, he brought his existence into the forefront of attention. It was said that he was going to the airport to pick him up. It seems that he doesn't have a place to stay for now. I want to let him stay in our house's guest room. He asked for my opinions. The tone is one of negotiation. The expression in his eyes was clearly a notification that couldn't be negotiated or discussed at all. I looked into his eyes. This man's face. I have been reading it for nearly 6 years. It felt so unfamiliar for the first time. On the day he arrived, I've taken the time to dress properly for this occasion. She wore a newly bought dress. She still wore makeup too. I don't know what I'm trying to achieve with all this effort. I guess he doesn't want to look bad in front of him. The door has been opened. When he stood at the door, I still feel like I was hit by something. She isn't the beautiful woman I had imagined in my mind. He has an ordinary appearance, wearing a simple white t-shirt and jeans. When I laugh, my teeth appear very white. He shook hands with me very friendly. Please call me sister-in-law. Sorry to have caused you trouble. In that instant, I think my perspective is too narrow. So small, as tiny as dust. He stayed there for half a month. That half month, I feel like an outsider here, watching my husband do things. It becomes a different person in front of another woman. He smiled. Now I can tell jokes too. We will leave the office earlier than usual. One day I went home early. 2 people are sitting in the living room. There are 2 cups of tea on the coffee table. They didn't talk anymore. Just sitting there, each of them looked down at their phones. That scene made me break down, more than anything else. That was a kind of tacit understanding between them. It's like there's no need for me to be there at all. A tacit understanding that doesn't interfere with anything else. The day he left, he went to send him off. I spent time cleaning the guest room by myself. I replaced the sheets and pillowcases, put everything he used into the garbage bag. I finished quickly. It seems like trying to destroy any evidence available. He came back in the evening. The eyes are red. Didn't say anything. I didn't ask anything at all. The 2 people sat at opposite ends of the sofa. Each remained silent in their own way. The TV is turned on. There's a very noisy variety show inside, with laughter spreading from place to place. The child is already asleep. There is only the light from the TV in the living room, clearly and obscurely. I turned my head to look at him. He was leaning back on the sofa, with the head tilted and eyes closed. There are tears on the face. This man is crying for another woman besides me. And I didn't shed a single tear at all. It's not difficult to feel sorrow. It seems that these 6 years of marriage have completely drained me away. I have proposed a divorce. He remained silent for a long time. Finally, it nodded its head, coming out of the Civil Affairs Bureau. Standing by the roadside, he suddenly said, "Can you hate me?" I was stunned. He said that you hate me. I will feel a little better now. I watched him, shook his head. Then I left. No turning back. I finally understood one important truth. There's a kind of marriage in this world. From the moment of connection, they lived with the third person. Sometimes it's specific. Sometimes it's abstract. Sometimes they aren't even human beings at all. It's some kind of obsession, some kind of unwillingness, some kind of elusive if. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much you compromise, you can't even defeat one of them. People who do not exist in this universe. I have only loved one person in my entire life. Starting at the age of 15. Love until the age of 35. Love until he got married. But the bride is in me. He and I were high school classmates. The first day of high school in the first semester. He sat in the back row next to me. The teacher is calling names one by one. It was my name that was mentioned.
He repeated it softly behind me.
The sound is very soft. I will go back and see him. He smiled. The teeth weren't quite neat to look at. At that time, liking someone was a very simple thing. At the moment of handing in the homework, he deliberately placed his notebook at the top of the pile. While doing the exercises, I used my peripheral vision to figure out which row he was in. After school, I will take a longer route towards his home. I never said that I liked him at all. I just silently, quietly removed him. All the details are stored in the heart. He likes to drink strawberry-flavored yogurt. When he writes, his head tends to tilt to the left. He likes to wear a dark green vest when playing basketball. There's a number 7 written there. I still remember it. These meaningless details. In the years that followed, it has become the food I rely on to survive during the winter months. Senior high school, choosing different subjects. He chose science as his field of study. I chose the humanities department. The classroom is no longer on the same level. I started to learn how to walk along the corridors of the teaching building. Pretend to pass by their class casually. We occasionally say hello to each other.
He said, "It's been a long time since we last met."
I just laughed and said yes. And then it just went by unnoticed. These 3 words later became his name. The most words spoken to me. It's been a long time since we last met, yes. Long time no see. High school graduation. He was sent to live in the north. I stayed in the south. On the day of the farewell dinner, everyone drank alcohol. Many people cried. Many people have expressed their feelings to others. I sat alone in the corner, watching him being surrounded by people. He drank too much. Red-faced. Walk over and pat me on the shoulder saying, "You are the best. I need to keep working hard from now on." I said, "Good, and so are you. I want to say that I like you. I liked you from the first day I met you in the first grade." But I didn't say anything at all. 4 years in college. We didn't get in touch at all. I had a brief romance once. After 3 months, the other person proposed to break up with me. She always feels like my mind isn't on the right track. I didn't defend myself at all. I have set his QQ space as a favorite. I check his updates occasionally. He joined the student union. He received a scholarship. It seems like he has a girlfriend now. I've enlarged the image that was used in the description, studying each face in the photographs. Which one might be him? Thinking back now, that behavior was almost pathological. But at that time, that was the only way I could get close to him. 3rd year of work, I found his WeChat account in the alumni group. I hesitated for 3 whole days. In the end, I still clicked to add it.
He managed to pass quickly.
The first sentence is, "Long time no see." I said yes. We started chatting. The frequency isn't very high, but every time we can talk for a long time. He did quite well in a foreign company. He started talking about the troubles he has with his work. It's said that winter in the north is extremely cold. It seems that the cat at home has gotten fatter again. I placed my phone against my chest. It feels like my heart is beating very quickly. I think this time it should be enough, right? We have worked hard and now we are mature. There's no need to be timid and evasive anymore, just like during our student years. This time, I decided to speak out about it. I typed something in the chat window, then deleted it immediately. Deleted, but still tried to type it again. Finally, I said something. I will visit your place for business next week. Do you want to meet in person? He said that one day I wore a new dress. I stood in front of the mirror for nearly an hour. Hanging one's hair is not a good look at all. When I put it down, I feel it's too deliberate. In the end, I decided to put it down anyway. We will meet at the cafe we arranged in advance. He hasn't changed much since high school. It's just that it has matured. Wearing a dark gray sweater is quite clean looking. We talked about many things. Talk about my high school days. Let's talk about each person's work. Who among those classmates we got to know together has gotten married? The atmosphere is very pleasant. He still looks the same when he laughs. The teeth aren't very straight, but it's very warm. The coffee was refilled twice. It became dark outside the window. I held the cup in my hands. Fine sweat emerges from the palms of the hands. I think it's now or never. I raised my head, just about to speak. His phone rang. He took a look at it and picked it up. The sound suddenly became very soft. Got it. I'll go back now. Hung up the phone. He smiled at me with a look of apology. It seems like my girlfriend is being too persistent. He hasn't been feeling well these past few days. I'm waiting for you at home while I cook dinner. I was stunned for a moment. Then smiled and said, Then you should go back quickly. Don't let anyone wait. He quickly paid the bill. Pick up my coat. Then he patted me on the shoulder and said, See you next time. I sat there, watching him disappear into the twilight. There's an old English song playing in the cafe. The melody is both gentle and cruel. I finished drinking that cold coffee. It feels like it's going through the bones. People come and go on the street. Each neon light turns on one by one. I stood by the roadside. I stared at the huge billboard in the shopping mall across from me for a long time. I kept seeing it until my eyes became sore from staring. But not a single tear was shed at all. I only found out later. He wasn't trying to deceive me. He really does have a girlfriend now. And we've been talking for over a year already. He never posted anything on his social media accounts at all. He never mentioned anything to me at all. I have no idea what I mean to him at all. A former classmate, an old classmate who occasionally chats with me. That's all. Later on, a girl appeared in his circle of friends. Big eyes and short hair. Smiles so sweetly. And then the wedding photos. And then the wedding invitations. He sent me an electronic invitation. If you have time, please come over. I took a portion of the money as a gift. The amount transferred is neither too much nor too little. Just like other students. I didn't go to the wedding. I took time off from work that day. I watched movies at home all day long. From morning to night. I watch all kinds of movies. I also like watching comedic movies. I also watched some tragedies. It was already past 10 p.m. It seems that the wedding is almost over. I opened his social media profile. He posted a set of photos taken at the wedding scene. The bride is very beautiful. He laughed like a child. I clicked like. Then I turned off the phone. I was 31 years old in the year he got married. From 15 years old to 31 years old, 16 years in total. 16 years is enough for a baby to grow into a teenager. Sufficient amount to grow a sapling into a towering tree. It's enough to keep someone in my heart. Put it in where it has germinated. It took root, but in the end, no fruit was produced at all. I thought this would be the end. Just like all those cheesy stories of unrequited love. Ultimately, I attended his wedding. Or it will end without any participants attending his wedding at all. But it seems that fate considered this not cruel enough. The second year after he got married, I moved to the city where he lives due to work-related transfers. Over the years, I have been promoted and received a higher salary. I bought my own small house in this city. I've brought my parents over here. Everything is fine. I even started to take dating seriously. I met many people. Some doctors and teachers also run their own businesses. They're all good people. But I no longer feel any emotions for anyone anymore. Friends say that it's me who has too high expectations. I just smiled without saying anything. I know that the requirements aren't too high. It was me who burned up all the fuel I had. Those secret, cautious feelings of affection. A feeling of nervous anticipation and excitement. They all became ashes within just 16 years. The me of now. It's still quite hot. But the remnants of the fire that no longer burns anymore. We still meet up occasionally. He was with his wife. He's a very nice person. Energetic and straightforward. I can cook delicious meals. The three of us have eaten together several times. They invited me to join them. Or I can invite them to do so. They talked about the decoration of their new house. Speaking of plans for preparing to conceive. When it comes to children's education, I listened, smiling in silence. Insert a few words at the appropriate time. I seem to be a decent and polite old friend. Only I know. Every time I get home after eating with them, I also have to sit on the sofa for a long time, staring at the ceiling. It feels like there's a stone pressing down on the chest cavity. Mom occasionally reminds me to do something. He said that if you don't act now, it will be too late. He said, look at those people, they all have second children now. He said that guy who was introduced by that person is a good person. Others are waiting for your response. I said that I understand. I turned on my phone. Received a message from the person I met for a blind date. Polite and considerate. From time to time, there are a few awkward jokes. I will post a reaction after finishing reading it. Then exit the dialog box. Click on his profile picture. He rarely updates his social media profiles. The cover photo is a picture of him and his wife together. I stared at that photo. It seems like the people in the photos are becoming more and more unfamiliar to me. Perhaps what I loved never really was the real him. What I loved was that summer, when I was 15 years old. Sitting in the back row of the classroom. The boy who repeated my name in a soft voice. That boy has already disappeared. It was my stubbornness that kept him in that place. That's how my first half of life was. Named after a person? Being laughed at. It's always been something that never gets said out loud. The preferences of those who go out determine most of the situation. I am 35 years old this year. Single, with a house and a car. Decent job. In everyone's eyes, I have everything. Only I know I lost the most important things I had. Or, to put it another way, it has never been obtained at all. I once asked myself, if we could start over again, will it happen during that summer of graduation? In the chaos of the farewell dinner, in alcohol and tears, walked up to him and said those words. I thought about it for a long time. The answer is no. Even if it had to be done 100 times again, I probably will still choose to remain silent. It's not that they lack courage enough. It's just that it's too obvious some words once spoken. Even Long Yuan doesn't have the qualifications to watch him anymore. I would rather cling to a hope that will never be fulfilled. I also don't want to face the inevitable loss. I don't know if this can be considered love. Maybe it can. Maybe not really. It's just when others ask me why I don't get married. I always think of a certain scene in my mind. The 17-year-old boy is running on the red track. The sunlight made his shadow appear to be very long. He turned his face around and smiled in a certain direction. That direction isn't mine. But still, I followed his footsteps for a long distance away. If you have fallen in love with your best friend's boyfriend, what would you do? Zhou Yao is my best friend. We live in the same neighborhood, 2 buildings away. I first met Chun Su. It was on the day that they had been dating for a full month. A hot and steamy hot pot restaurant. She walked in, holding his arm. Her eyes curved into crescents with laughter. Speak softly to me, close to my ear. In this lifetime, he is the one I choose to be with. I picked up my glass and said, "Congratulations." His gaze casually swept over his face. There's only one thought in my mind. This man is really neat looking. The hair is cut very short. The nails were neatly trimmed. When I laugh, my teeth appear very white. I look into people's eyes when I speak. But don't keep staring at it forever. It's that kind of polite, attentive gaze. It makes people feel respected. That day, the hot pot bubbled and steamed over with steam. He kept serving Zhou dishes and minced meat. Skilled techniques. One by one, they were placed into her bowl. I sat across from them, watching them. I can't really describe the feeling in my heart. Since then, the three of us often eat together. Zhou is eager for me to have more contact with him. I'm also happy to get a share of the food. His cooking is really delicious. In particular, there's a dish of sugar and sour sauce with pork ribs. It has a red and bright color, a balanced combination of sour and sweet. Please let me have another bowl of rice with it. Zhou said that Chen-Su used to live alone for 3 years. Everything is possible. Repair pipes, replace light bulbs, cook meals. Skilled in everything. I smiled and said, "You really need to be careful about such men." He said indifferently that he couldn't run away at all. To be honest, at first I didn't have any thoughts about him at all. It really doesn't exist at all. But as time goes by, some things have changed in flavor over time. It wasn't a dramatic moment at all. It's just a lot of small details, piled up little by little. For example, let's go shopping at the supermarket together. Zhou will walk ahead, holding Chen-Su's arm. I followed behind them. He would occasionally look back at me. For example, let's go watch a movie together. Zhou sits in the middle. I sat next to her. When the show ends, she stood up and picked up my empty things along with her. The Coke cup was also thrown away together with it. For example, once I had a fever. Zhou is currently on a business trip. In his anxiety, he asked me to bring him the medicine. He knocked on the door and I opened it, looking disheveled and untidy. He handed me a bag of something. Inside, there is 1 bottle of antipyretic patches, as well as some electrolyte water. There's also a box of bright red strawberries. He said that your complexion looks very poor. Remember to eat something first before taking the medication. There was no deliberate care or attention given to anything. There are no ambiguous statements at all. These are just some of the behaviors that are completely normal. But that's exactly what I am within those normalities. It's getting deeper and deeper with each passing moment. I started paying attention to the movement of his Adam's apple as he spoke. Notice the curve of his smile. Notice the wrists that are visible when he rolls up his sleeves. I started changing out of several sets of clothes before meeting him. Finally, I chose the most ordinary one among them, because I don't want him to notice my attempts to hide it. I started to say fewer words during the meal with 3 people there, because I'm afraid that as soon as I start speaking, some mistakes might slip out. Zhou doesn't know anything at all. She remains that carefree girl she always was. They will complain to me at the dinner table about Chen-Su's snoring. They will share with me the details of their arguments. It will rest on my shoulder and ask me questions. Do you think he might be the right person for you? I smiled and said, "He's very good. You should cherish him." When saying this sentence, my heart felt like it was squeezed tightly by a hand. It hurts so much that I can't make a sound at all. For a while, I deliberately kept away from them. He asked me to go dinner, but I said I had to work overtime. I was asked to go shopping with me, but I said I'm too tired. Zhou thought I was too busy with work. They even specially made a soup for me and brought it to me. That bowl of soup sits on my table every day. I stared at it for a long time. I wonder what the hell I'm doing, really. Chen-Su is her boyfriend. He is one of the people in this world who treat me the best. How could I have such disgusting thoughts? But thoughts are something else entirely. The more you try to suppress it, the more it grows. It gets higher and higher. The turn took place last winter. Zhou is on a business trip. It's going to take a week to get there. Before she left, she said to me, "Please keep an eye on Chun-Su for me. Don't let him keep ordering takeout every time." I agreed with my words. But in my heart, I was thinking, this week, I need to stay away from them. But the next day, Chun-Su sent me a message. It was said that Zhou asked me to go to his house for dinner. He cooked the meal. I stared at that message for 5 minutes. 3 lines were typed, then deleted again. In the end, only 1 word was replied. Good. I ate that meal in silence. He prepared 3 dishes and 1 soup. Sure enough, there is that dish of sugar and sour flavored pork ribs. I kept my head down while eating. I don't really pay much attention to him. He didn't say much either. I only ask about work-related matters occasionally. After eating, I will go and do the dishes.
He stood nearby, wiping the table.
The kitchen is quite small. The distance between us is less than 1 meter. He suddenly said, "Have you been avoiding me recently?" I slipped my hand off the surface. The plate almost fell into the sink. I said no. I haven't asked about him lately because I'm too busy. But that problem is like a stone thrown into water. The ripples spread out in circles. Couldn't be stopped at all. I left immediately after washing the dishes. When I got downstairs, I realized that my hands were shaking. The wind that night was very cold. It was so loud that I became extremely awake. There's only one thought in my mind. One really liked Chun-Su now. After that, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. I started to do some really ridiculous things. Follow his social media posts. Jump to the first entry from 3 years ago. Look at his previous photos. Look at the photo of him and Zhou together. Look closely at his expression. See if his eyes bend when he laughs. Let's see if it's appropriate for him to stand next to him. The answer is that they really match well. They really suit each other perfectly. Zhou is a girl who loves sunny weather. When I laugh, my eyes curl into crescent shapes. Good personality, good work, and a happy family. Everything is fine, and so am I. I am his shadow. It's that person who always sits across from me. The most despairing moment ever. It's our 3 of us going camping together. Chatting around the campfire in the evening. Zhou fell asleep, leaning against Chun-Su's shoulder. The light of fire reflected in his face, quiet and beautiful at the same time. He glanced at her down below. Then, look up. It happened to meet my gaze. We stared at each other for about 3 seconds amidst the flames. During those 3 seconds, my heart is beating so fast, it feels like it might explode at any moment. After returning, I wrote a line of words in my diary. Up to this point, I told myself, this emotion cannot be exposed to the light. They can't be exposed to light either. Zhou is my best friend. I cannot hurt her. What Chun-Su really likes is her, not me. I merely hope that everything about him remains normal. The interpretation of good intentions turned into something completely different. I even thought about it. I like him for some reason. He is indeed very good. Gentle, careful, and well-mannered. But there are plenty of good boys in the world. I really like this thing, even though I shouldn't like it at all. Perhaps it's precisely because it shouldn't be done at all. That's why I really want to do it. Human nature is simply that way. Later, I tried to attend some blind dates. I've seen 2 of them. They started talking but then asked me what my budget for buying a house was. Someone in the coffee shop, facing towards. The phone was used to play games for half an hour. I don't blame them. I just met Chun-Su after all. It seems like everyone's performance is pretty average. His sense of propriety.
His upbringing.
The gentle nature that he possesses without being overly ostentatorial. It seems to be etched into my bones forever. Later, Zhou had an argument with Chun-Su. He ran to my house and cried. It seems that he has been very cold towards him lately. The response to messages is very slow. I couldn't say much before the call ended. I poured him some water and brought him a tissue. But inside, it feels like the rivers are flowing chaotically, with no order at all. He said that he doesn't love me anymore. I don't know what to say right now. During that period, their relationship became very tense. 𝓀𝓻 comes to me every now and then to cry and complain. Every time, I always try to be a good listener. He asked me if we should break up. I gritted my teeth and said, "You should talk to him properly, without acting on impulse." When that sentence was spoken, I think I'm being extremely hypocritical. I clearly have selfish motives. Clearly in some dark corner. I hope they have divided the tasks among themselves. I will have the opportunity then. But I can't say that really. I can't do that push. In the end, they did divide up the resources. It was proposed by 𝓀𝓻. She said that the time to break up came. Chang-Su didn't try to persuade him to stay. It was just a long silence, then something was said. Okay. 𝓀𝓻 cried in front of me all afternoon. I also cried along with her. She thought I was feeling sorry for her. Only I know. What am I crying about? 1 month after they broke up, Chang-Su sent me a message. Just 4 words. Are you okay? I'm holding my phone. Tears flowed down without any warning at all. I waited for those 4 words for a long time. And finally we got there, but didn't dare to reply. I stared at the screen for quite some time before finally deciding to delete it. I deleted it, and the only sentence that remained was this one. It's great. Take care of yourself too. Then I deleted his WeChat account. It's been more than half a year since they broke up. I and 𝓀𝓻 are still the best of friends. She has a new date partner now. I'm slowly getting out of there. And I never tried to contact Chang-Su again. Sometimes I can't help but click on those options. Take a look at his social media profile. But nothing will be left behind at all. Sometimes I wonder, if I had replied to that message back then, if I had told the truth back then, will the ending be different? Maybe so. But even if it happens again, I will still make the same choice. There are some things that are more important than love. Have you ever experienced such a moment? It's just looking at the person right beside me. Suddenly, you feel like you don't know him at all anymore. It wasn't a fight at all. It's not a case of cheating. It's just a certain moment. You found yourself living with a stranger for 6 years. I was the one who proposed to divorce. But that fuse is actually quite ridiculous, really. That day was a Saturday. He is rarely at home. I said this before going out to buy groceries. Please clean up the trash can in the living room. It's completely full now.
He said it would take about an hour for me to get back.
The trash cans are still full. There are a few more of the orange peels that he left behind, stacked on top of each other. It's about to fall down now. He sat on the sofa looking at his phone. It seems like that trash can doesn't even exist at all. I'm standing at the door. I'm holding some vegetables in my hands, looking at that trash can. Then I went in, put the dishes down, tied the garbage bag tightly before taking it out. He looked up at me and said, "You leave me alone." I said I don't need it. It's already ready.
He said, "You check it out yourself."
I've said it already. I'll come. You did it yourself again. Then I continued to look at my phone. At that moment, there was something in my heart. A very light sound was made. It's not broken at all. It's already closed. Suddenly, I remembered many things. I also think about these things in my daily life. But we never thought about putting them together at all. We have been married for 6 years. No children. It's not that I don't want to have children. I just couldn't get pregnant at all. I've gone to the hospital for a checkup. Neither of the 2 people has any problems. The doctor said it might be due to stress. Let's relax. Every time his parents called, they would ask the same question. He said it over the phone. What can I do if she can't get pregnant with me? Light and fluffy. It seems to have nothing to do with him. Later, I thought, perhaps it started from that time. Something is already changing right now. It's not like that when we were in a relationship. At that time, he would remember my menstrual periods. Bought brown sugar and thermal patches in advance. Once I worked overtime until late, and it was raining heavily. He came to pick me up in an electric bike. The raincoat was given to me to wear. His entire body was soaked with water. I sat in the back seat, holding him in my arms. I feel that this is his life right now. It was okay during the first year of marriage, too. When did it start to happen? Maybe it's because I got promoted after all. I worked in the company for 5 years. The performance has been quite good. The boss appointed me as the department manager. The salary has doubled. After that, he changed completely. For example, in the past, we used to go out to eat together. He will naturally be the one to pay the bill. Later, it became my responsibility to pay for it. He stood by the side. They also didn't say anything. Once I told him, "I'm treating everyone to a meal today." He said that you now earn much more, so that's what you deserve. The tone sounds like something you're saying in a joke. But I know that it isn't the case. Another example is when his mother gets a birthday party. I bought a gold necklace and decided to give it as a gift. The old lady was very happy. Going home at night, he leaned against the head of the bed and said, "Don't buy things that are so expensive in the future." My mom still thinks that I'm living at home and relying on others for support. I want to know what it means to live off others' support. I bought something for your mother's birthday. How did gifts end up becoming a means of getting something for nothing? She said, "Okay, I won't say anything more." Then turn around. Give me a backside. How should I describe that feeling? You're trying to be a good wife,